Do you play life as you would play a video game? Hi, this is Castle with Light Embodied. On this podcast, we talk about everything love, light, truth, and how you can be more of your authentic self on this planet. So when I say, do you play life as you play a video game? This is something I think about quite often because though I'm not a huge gamer, I do really enjoy fantasy, and anytime I play games, I love open worlds. So recently I've been trying to live more present and live more in gratitude and enjoyment of what's around me. So I was driving through this town near my house, which I normally drive through. I've been here my whole life. It's not new to me, but I was kind of stuck in traffic on the street, and I just decided to look out, and I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity to look at the buildings that are here. And I just found enjoyment in looking at the things that were around me. And there was this thing that was in the back of my head, and a lot of you might experience when you do something like that. There's almost like not a guilt, but you're not allowed to just appreciate this. You know this street. You should treat it like, this is just this boring street. I own this place, blah, 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 whatever. It's almost like we feel guilt about having that childlike appreciation towards things, even if they are not new to us. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I feel that guilt here, but if this were a video game right now, I were playing an open world game, that is what I would do, and I would know that that's the reason I came to that game. Here is this game that these people created with all these cool buildings and setups. Of course, I'm going to take my time to appreciate it. When I play an open world game, I'm the type of person that will just run around and look at everything. I'm just swiveling the controller, just what's here, what's here, what's here. And I just like looking at things. And I realize if that's how I play those kind of games, because when you play a game, you kind of let go of any blocks you may have. It's that really raw experience, and it allows you to live things as you would in your spirit level, I believe, in a sense. And so if that's what I do in a game, why don't I do that in the world? How would you play a video game? If you got a chance to enter this open world, there were some quests you can do, but you had all the free time to explore. How would you go about exploring and playing that game? It's like, if you were there, would you walk up to this crazy piece of architect and be like, whatever? No, you would probably be like, whoa, that's so cool. The designers created this. Wow. And you would probably even do the same things for regular shops too. You'd be like, wow, look, there's a coffee shop here. Cool. I think what blocks us on planet Earth is that we get into this state where we kind of get numb to things, and we assume that this is our planet, right? We've lived here our whole lives. So it's a thing of the things that already existed when we exist. We feel like we can't be surprised by them because that's making us seem naive. It's making us seem unintelligent. That's not the right word, but I can't think of it right now. But it makes us seem childish in a way. Have you ever had that friend who was the know-it-all, and you spot something cool and they're like, yeah, that's been here for 20 years. Or you're like, whoa, there's a puppy on the street. And they're like, it's just a dog. Or you're like, whoa, it's a squirrel. And they're like, it's just a squirrel. They're all over the city. That kind of naggingness that has seeped into our society and has kind of blocked us from having that appreciation for things. But having that appreciation, that is what makes life rich. It's true that there's not a lot of newness on this earth, though actually I think there is a lot of newness, but there's also a lot of the sameness. So we have to develop this appreciation for even the smallest things. That ties into gratitude and having that practice of gratitude, where that if you have great gratitude and amazement for the small things, imagine how surprised and amazed you're going to be at the bigger things. And if you are amazed at the little things, the universe is going to want to show you the even cooler things it has. If you emailed that game designer and was like, wow, that one coffee shop on 5th Avenue was so cool, they'd be like, what? Go check out this temple on 21st Street. That's even cooler, dude. These are my very limited examples right now, but so you can kind of have these experiences with life and with the universe. If you think of God as the game designer and you're constantly sharing feedback with how cool this world is, because it is pretty cool, right? So many of us don't do this. And the reason for that is simple. It's because we are taught that we have to always be doing something, that we are always on a mission. And you can see that very heavily in the West, where the first, nearly any time you interact with somebody, especially if you haven't seen them for a while, the first thing they ask you is, so what are you doing now? What's your quest? What quest have you accepted? Like, you better have accepted a quest. Are you in school? Do you have a job? What are you doing now? And if you've ever been asked that and you like don't know what you're doing, it's so stressful because you're like, oh, now this person's gonna look down on me because I'm clueless right now. I'm just exploring the world, actually. It's like, why are we not allowed to do that? Now, I have had the blessed and maybe not so blessed experience of kind of being at a place in my life where I am the only one that holds me accountable. You know, I've had a lot of times where I am off work looking to trying to figure out my next thing. And it's just me. I cut off all of my friends a long time ago. I went through that spiritual path of just like, you know, focusing down your circle. And I've still yet to bring in those new people to my life. So I've had long periods of time where I've literally had nothing to do, like besides what I decide to do for myself. And so I've been forced to face this concept of just being allowed to go out and explore. Like when I'm in those periods and I wake up one day, I'm stressed. I'm like, there's no agenda. I have no quests right now. What the heck am I gonna do? And I'll decide to just go to the park. But even then I feel guilty because we're not programmed that way. We're not programmed to think we're just allowed to go out and explore. No, we always have to be accepting a quest. We feel like that's the kind of game we're in. We're in a game where, you know, it's really strict. You just have to go mission to mission. But no, the fact of the matter is, we are actually in an open world game. And if you've ever played those games, yes, there are some quests that are like time limit that come and go. And if you don't do them, well, you're going to miss them. But your main quest is always going to be there. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. You can start the quest, you can stop the quest, you can go explore, you can just ignore it for as long as you want to. You don't even have to finish the quest. It's up to how you want to experience the game. But that scares a lot of us because a lot of the world is not doing that. And we feel that if we don't, we're going to get behind. Which is true in a sense if you're playing the same game as somebody else and they go ahead and they just do the quests and you decide to take time to explore the world, they're going to finish that quest before you, probably. They're going to finish the game before you. But then what are they going to do? Meanwhile, you have been taking your time to explore on the side and you've got such a rich experience from this game that by the time you finally complete it, you are going to feel fulfilled and satisfied and like you really got the most out of that game. If you look on the other scale, if you were that person who rushed through the game and was just like, nope, I just need to get through the quests, you'd probably finish and be like, well, damn, I kind of wish I took more time with that. Why did I feel like I had to rush? So all that's to say is there are no rules on how to play this game of a life. It is simply up to you and how you want to experience the game. So I'll leave you with this question now. If life were a video game, how the bleep would you play it? Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We are always keeping it real here. If you like my vibe, come on and join the community, subscribe to the channel, throw me a like if you feel like it. Otherwise, it was so good to have you here. We'll see you on the next episode. Sending you so much love and light. Peace out.